Oh my gosh, you guys, what a roller coaster. I had to take a break to upload that video because I couldn't just like pause it. It was like a whole thing. So it was literally like 2 hours later from when I left off, talking about the ghost tour. So we're gonna pick up right where I left off, talking about like fun things you should do in New Orleans that are like the most popular activities. So we did a ghost tour. They have like ghost tours and they have we did what was called like a spirit tour, so it had ghosts but it also had like cocktails, so it was going from like famous bar to famous bar, and along the way the guy would tell us like stories about like famous ghosts related to like different architecture we were walking by, which was really good. It was by this guy named John, and it was called Your Tour Buddy, I want to say. And it was good. I'd recommend him. But the thing I was saying at the end of the last video, go back and watch part one if you didn't already, is that with the walking tours, the limit is like 30 people. That's what like the city kind of set, I think. And most people will push the limit because they want to make the max amount of money from ticket dollars. So if you imagine like 30 people standing on a street, a busy street, trying to like hear someone talk, it gets like very crowded. It's tough to ask questions, kind of tough to interact. So like the big tours aren't great. The one we went on, he reduced the numbers a little bit. I think it was around like, he said it was 15, but I feel like it was closer to 20. Like he was pushing the limits too, which is still even like a little bit big. Like I would prefer an even smaller tour. So like if I had to give you some advice, I would like, or if I was going to go again, I would actually look into doing a private tour. I think you could do that fairly affordably because I think you can negotiate with these people, right? Especially if it's not like a tour company, if it's just like a local who's doing the tour, you'd be like, how much to take like me and my friends on a personal tour, and then that way you can ask your questions. That way you have a small group. That way you can do it like on your own set time. So that's like one thing I would do differently. I would look into that. I don't know what the cost would be on the one that we did was about $30, and that didn't include any drinks or anything. And the other thing I regret about the tour is we did that on the last day that we were there, and we should have done it on the first day because we actually got the best tips from that tour guide, and he was giving us like restaurant recommendations and like stuff to do and telling us like all about the city. I was like, damn it, like I wish I would have known this like day one so I could use it because we were leaving the next morning. But yeah, if you're into like ghosts or kind of like murder stories, like history of New Orleans, all that kind of stuff, I totally recommend doing a tour. And there's so many to choose from. I don't know which one to recommend. Like, do whatever. Just, I think the size thing is like the factor. You get a smaller tour. It's not about the brand, it's about the number of people in the tour. The other thing you need to do is go to Frenchman Street. So that is, I don't know what to call it other than like a smaller second Bourbon Street, because like Bourbon Street is, I want to say, like 8 to 10 consecutive blocks that you like walk down. It's just all bars and all partying. And then if you just go like further up north ish, the directions are weird in New Orleans. There is Frenchman Street, which is just like another section that has like a lot of bars, and it's the jazz bars. I guess that's why it's different. It's more known for like their music, but it's like it's also packed. It's also crazy. It's also like tons of people on the street drinking, walking around, like total party time. So definitely go to Frenchman Street. And there's a really cool part. It closes at midnight, so get there a little bit earlier. Is they have a market there, and it's a really cute market. It's got like all these local vendors. It's got like the strings of lights that hang from it. It's like so like Instagrammable. It's really cute. And it's crazy because it's like this insane it's like this insane street of like drunken party, and there's like a local market selling like cute jewelry and art and stuff. So it's like the juxtaposition is strange, and then they have like all the jazz places as well. We didn't actually go in any jazz places because we were a little bit too like all over the place at this point. I think you have to actually plan that out a little bit because they do get so busy. So maybe like make a reservation or just do some research ahead of time on what jazz bar you're going to go to, because you can't really just like walk into a jazz bar, is something that we learned, and that was kind of similar to the first time I had went there. So we should have known better for that if you're a big jazz fan. Um, and I think that's all I want to say about things to do. We didn't really do any shopping. We didn't go too far outside, but like everything you want to do is basically in the French Quarter. It's all very walkable, and you can just like entertain yourself doing that. You don't really need anything more to go outside of that. I mean, if you're staying in New Orleans longer, of course you can, but like that's kind of like the hub of everything. The last thing I want to talk to you about is stuff to bring. Now, you can pack really light for New Orleans because, like I said, I would only kind of do like a short trip. Like 4 days is definitely enough to cover. You could do it 2 to 4 days is good. So I just brought a carry-on, and because it's so freaking hot, like you only need like light clothes, like shorts, tank top, light summery dress, like very light, light clothing is hot. It's very hot. Cannot emphasize that enough. And so you're also going to want like a hat, sunglasses, bring some sunscreen. Some of us got sunburned one day where it was actually overcast. You know, those are days that kind of like trick you and you don't realize how much you're in the sun. So bring some sunscreen. Bring hand sanitizer because New Orleans, it's a dirty city. Like the buildings are old. There's tons of people coming through. Bathrooms are well used. There's not always like soap. There's not always paper towel. So like just bring hand sanitizer. Good practice. And the most important thing you need to bring, comfortable shoes. Girls, don't even think about bringing heels. Don't even think about it. It's all old, like cobblestone. It's rickety. You're going to be walking tons. You're only walking. You're not going to be cabbing, Ubering. Don't bring heels. Bring comfortable shoes. And bring shoes you don't mind getting dirty because it's filthy. Like I actually broke some shoes when I was there because we were like partying pretty aggressively, running around Bourbon Street as you do. And like I broke some sandals and then I bought some new like flip flops from the CVS and they actually worked great. They were super comfortable. But because Bourbon Street is disgusting and there's like random puddles of like questionable liquids, spills, urine, barf, who knows. Yeah, my feet were kind of like black by the end of the night. Not black, but like they were gross. So like bring shoes. Don't bring your nice white shoes. Bring something you don't care about. Bring flip flops. Bring comfortable. That's the number one most important thing you can bring. So yeah, bring light clothes, sunscreen, sunglasses, bring your ID like I talked about in the other video, hand sanitizer, and comfortable shoes. Okay, I think that is everything I wanted to tell you guys about. So that is the end of part 2 of telling you about going to Calgary to New Orleans, and I hope you enjoyed this kind of weird travel video that I did. I'm not trying to be a travel influencer. I'm only trying to talk about Calgary stuff, but I know a lot of people were like, actually had trips planned to New Orleans like in the next couple weeks, so I thought this would be helpful to like give you a rundown of what to expect. You're gonna love it. It's amazing. It is such a fun city. The people are amazing. Like I already want to go back. If the flights weren't so crappy, I would be there so much more often. And I just want to go back and like party more and try more fun restaurants and just like explore more. So you're gonna have a good time. Tag me in your Instagram stories. Good luck. Have fun. I hope this is attaching to my last video. Okay, I realize, because I'm amateur over here, that some people might have stumbled across this video and not actually know who I am. Like I assumed like everyone was coming from my Instagram. But if you actually sat through all of part 1 and part 2 of my story, going to Calgary to New Orleans and don't know who I am, I should let you know that my name is Sarah Sociables. I am a local influencer in Calgary. I talk a lot about Calgary events and fun things to do in the city. My whole goal is to get people out of the house and having fun and enjoying new restaurants and unique activities around the city. So that's all that I post about. I only post happy stuff, trying to get people to do fun local things and like enjoy themselves. So you can find me on Instagram at sarah.sociables. You can use my website, which is www.sarahsociables.com. You just search Sarah Sociables, it'll come up right away. And the website has tons. It's a great resource. I'm really proud of my website. It's got best restaurants, best things to do. I've got an event calendar of like things coming up. You can also find me on TikTok where I post exactly the same kind of content, plus like some fun other stuff on there. And again, it's at sarah.sociables. So look me up. Thank you for watching this video and being my new friend. And I hope this helped. I don't know if I'm going to make more travel videos in the future. This may be a one-off. Either case, Sarah Sociables signing out.